Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Valerie and this is Laura's Closet. In today's video, I'm going to show you some of the items that I sold January 2023 in Poshmark and Mercari. We're going to start off with Mercari, and the first thing to sell was this NYNC Soho 100% linen tie waist pants, women's size extra large. These were new with tags, and I sold those for $15 on Mercari. I did pick these up in the bins. In that whole bins haul, my items came out to about 60 cents per item. I got these when I very first started reselling, and I started probably about a year ago. I just picked them up because they were in the bins. They were new with tags. They were linen. So I knew linen was a good material, but I wasn't sure about the brand. I did go ahead, obviously, and pick them up. They did sit for quite a long time. That was about a year, so they did sit for about a year. I got an offer for $15. I did accept it. It was a good turnaround because my cost of goods was only about 60 cents that day. The next thing to sell was this Merona cardigan sweater in a size 16-18. This, I picked it up at one of my local thrift stores here in town. They were doing last spring like a clear out their sweater type of thing. You bought a sweater, you got one half off. Their sweaters were $1, so I believe I paid about 50 cents for this sweater. It did sell for $9. It did sit. The next one was these Keen brown hiking sandals in a size youth 1. These sold for $13. I picked these up at a Goodwill for $7. It was not a good buy for me. I heard that this brand does sell well for people and fast for people. I am just not one of those people. So the next thing to sell was this woodland vintage blue woodland blue and black plaid flannel quilted vest. I got this for free. I didn't pay anything for this. Sold it for $25. I barely had listed this at the beginning of like fall because I knew we were going into colder weather, so it sat for a couple of months. There was no size tag on it, so I just did measurements, try to figure it out as best as I could. It ended up selling for $25, which is what I was asking for. So I was glad to get that one sold, and it was a good profit because it was free. The next thing to sell was this Loft animal print v-neck sleeve fuzzy knit sweater that sold for $10 in a size large. I picked this up in the bins. Like I said, I was new to reselling about a year ago. We had went to the bins to see what it was like. I just found it. I thought it was cute. I thought Loft was a good brand, and it may be a good brand for some people. But the next thing to sell was this LRL Lauren by Ralph Lauren cowl neck knit sweater. I got this from a rummage sale here at our local town. You like fill a bag for $3, and then they have other items. My whole cost of goods for that trip was 50 cents. I got a lot of stuff for a very good price. This sweater sold for $24. I believe I had it listed for $28. Someone sent me an offer for $24. I obviously accepted. Okay, so the next thing that sold on Poshmark was this Peanuts Heart Sitting Snoopy shirt in a size large. I sold that for $13. This I didn't put like my cost of goods because it belonged to my daughter. We were going through her closet. We found some things that we could sell, we can get rid of. The next item is this Stoosh Jacquard wide leg trouser casual pants. I sold those for $15. I got these in the bin, so again, cost of goods was probably about 60 cents, 61 cents. Again, won't be picking up this brand. It sat for a long time. Finally got an offer of $15. I took it just to get them moved, just to get, you know, my closet in the algorithm to start selling stuff. But definitely not a brand I don't think I would pick up again. The next thing that sold was this Ava and Viv black floral print 3/4 bubble sleeve v-neck dress. I ended up getting this at the local church rummage sale, so everything I got from that rummage sale again varied, so everything was about 50 cents. This was new without tags. It didn't have the actual tag on it, but it did have like the little extra button that it comes with, and just a tag that stayed on there but wasn't like the price tag. Again, this sold for $17. I don't think I would pick this up again. I know people do like their Target brands and their Target items. It doesn't sell very well, but if I do find a dress or something that is in style, maybe I'll go ahead and pick it up. If it's cheap and the price is right, then maybe. So yeah, that the next thing to sell were these Paige Bell Canyon high-rise flare corduroy jeans. These sold for $20. They were in a size 28. Again, picked these up from that good church rummage sale for about 50 cents. I had these listed, I believe I had these listed higher. I want to say I had them listed probably for about $35. They were just getting a lot of likes, not very many offers. So I did get an offer for $20, and I did accept that offer. I think this may be an older Paige label, and I know Paige does usually sell pretty well. The next thing that sold was a new tag universal thread women's balloon long sleeve shirt in a size large. Again, that came from the church rummage sale, so paid only about 50 cents for it. I sold that for $13. I believe I accepted the offer for $13, and again, I just wanted to move it because, you know, it's Target, and if this ever went on clearance for Target, it probably went on clearance for maybe cheaper than $13. So I just took it. It didn't cost me very much, and it was a fast sale. It did sell pretty quickly. The next thing that sold was this Shenanigans vintage embroidered sweater in a size large. That sold for $16. I did accept that offer. This sweater was purchased at a local thrift store. They were clearing like all their sweaters out at the end of last spring. The next item that did sell was this Disney Star Wars Rebels imprint Spirit jersey. And actually, I was so excited when I found this because this was my first time finding a Spirit jersey out in what they call the wild. It wasn't in the best of condition, but I picked it up anyways, and I ended up paying full price for this. I bought it at a Goodwill. It was $7. I usually don't pay full price for things. I usually have a coupon, or I wait till I find a good sale, or I like to hit the rummage sales that our local churches have. But I saw this and I knew Spirit jerseys were like the way to go. If you find them, grab them because they go for money. I actually had this listed at $42. It did sell at the current, at the price I was asking. It did not sit for long. It was like sold, I want to say like in 2 days. But it was a really good sale. There was some slight bubbling on the graphic and some wear on it, but I was still surprised that it sold for $42. That was a good one. So if you ever find Spirit jerseys, it's wise to pick them up because they sell for good money. I can just imagine if this was in like good, great mint condition, barely worn, barely used, I probably could have got a lot more money for it, but I'm happy with the $42. It was a great sale. The next thing that sold was this Ascend outdoor hiking women's shorts in a size 2. Again, excited to move it out. It's not a good brand. I won't be picking up the brand again, and the size is way small way small. So those sold for $9. I did accept an offer on those. I don't think I had it listed very high anyways to begin with. Again, I got these at the Goodwill back when they used to have their dollar days. The next thing to sell was this Luna merino wool cardigan cropped sweater, and the whole reason why I got this sweater was because of the fabric content. It was 100% wool. It didn't have any peeling. It didn't have, you know, moth holes or anything like that. It was in good condition. I got this at the same little thrift store where they're clearancing out their sweaters, so I got it for 50 cents. Next thing that sold was this Roxy Wear Your Heart on Your Sleeve women's sweater in a size small. Sold that for $10. This was my daughter's again when we had went through her room to clear out all her old stuff to make room for new stuff. So I don't have cost of goods for that because, you know, it's bought for her to wear. She wore it, didn't fit her anymore, so happy to move it for $10 when I could have just donated it and, you know, made no money. But with this I made a little bit of money, so that works. The next thing to sell was this Talbot's quilted magenta puffer vest lightweight jacket in a size small. I got this at the Salvation Army for $2. I sold it for $20. That was my full asking price. I think if the size would have been a little bit bigger, maybe not a small, if it was bigger, you know, large, extra large, I probably could have got a little bit more money for it. But I was happy with $20 when I only spent $2 on it, so that was good. Talbot's also does sell Good For Me. The next thing to sell was this Torrid golden orange tropical print cellist skate dress for $25 in a size 2X. I love to sell Torrid. It always sells for me. Always sells. It never disappoints. No matter what the item is, I can sell it. Usually the dresses sell for a whole lot more than, you know, your basic shirts or something like that. This dress, I got it at the Goodwill. I did pay $5 for it. I believe it was like one of those special tags where it was like 50% off, because usually Goodwill where I live does tend to mark up items like Torrid and what they know can sell more for. So $25 is a good deal. The next thing to sell was this David's Bridal sleeveless embroidered net bridesmaid's dress. This dress, in a size 12. This dress was purchased for my daughter. She was in my brother's wedding, so we had to go to the bridal store to order this dress. So she obviously wore it to the wedding. She wore it another time for a Dia de los Muertos occasion. It's a Mexican celebration where we honor loved ones who have passed away. She wore this dress. We made it like big extravagant for her. She wore it again. The bottom of the dress had some drag to it. You know, there was a couple holes from her shoes, the button on the back, you know, the little clasp it that you had to clasp it together was coming apart, and I just made sure to put that in the description. I put it in the photos. You know, I wanted whoever was to get this dress to know that it did have some wear, but some of the wear you couldn't see, and some of the wear that it had was easily fixed. I just wasn't going to be fixing it. The next thing to sell were these Vans checkered board red slip-on shoes for $15. Again, they were my daughter's, clearing out her closet, size 8.5. Didn't fit her anymore. Just threw them on Poshmark to see if they would sell, and they did. I did list them for $15. They sold for $15, and actually my daughter bought these with her own money, so I think I need to pay her the $15 they sold for, because I didn't buy these shoes for her when she initially got them. The next thing that sold was this Lucky Brand paisley floral print tie waist dress in a size 1X for $21. That was actually my full asking price. I asked for $21. I got it for $1 at a local thrift shop here in our town. Now there's actually a funny story that goes with this dress. When it sold, I packaged it up, you know, in the boxes I have for Poshmark. I packaged it up, sent it on its way. I usually have the mail carrier come to my house to do pickups, so I don't have to go to the post office to drop them off. Well, they picked them up. They picked up whatever packages I had for that day. Got the notification, your items have been picked up. And then a couple of days later, I checked my mail, and in the mail was just the shipping label for this package. There was no package, there was no dress, there was just a label. I had no idea what to do with just a label. I contacted Poshmark, I contacted my buyer to let them know, hey, I got this label back, but I did not get the dress back or the package or a box or anything. What do I do next? Like, now I'm out my item, the customer is out their item, like what do we do? So Poshmark got back to me and they did resolve it. They did give the buyer back her money, and then they did pay out the money that this item cost. So I got my $21 and then the buyer got her $21 plus her shipping back. So that was good. Where the dress ended up, I have no idea. The next item to sell was this Torrid Lizzie rayon twill dog's black button down shirt in a size 2X. That sold for $18. I believe I got that at the Salvation Army. They were doing like, my local Salvation Army was doing like all clothes $2. I got that at that sale. The next item to sell was this Michael Kors khaki faux button shorts in a size 10 for $10. Next thing that sold was this Melissa McCartney 7 floral print V-neck button down shirt in a size 1X that sold for $22. That's how much my asking price was for it. I know if you find Melissa McCartney jeans that they can go, certain styles can go for good money. I found the shirt and I just figured, hey, let's try and see if her shirts can go as much as her pants. So $22 was good. I did end up paying like $4 for it though, so I don't know if I would pick it up again. It did sell fast, so maybe that is a plus, that it did sell fast. So I guess we'll just see if I come across it again what happens. The next thing that sold was this New Tags Chico's geometric jacquard top in a size medium. That sold for $27. That was my full asking price. I did get this at a local thrift store for $3. I saw it. It was Chico's. It was new with tags. There was nothing wrong with it. I said, yep, I'm taking that home. Chico's does sell good for me. I love to sell Chico's. I don't know if a lot of people do search for it or if it's just a known brand. I know it's a more mature brand, so the more mature people are looking for it. But every time I have Chico's and I get it for a good deal and I priced it right, it always sells for me. So this one sold $27, full asking price. The buyer was actually really happy. She found this. She ended up leaving me like a little love note saying that she was glad she found it. She had one exactly like it, but cleaning out her closet, it must have gone in her donate pile, and she hopped on Poshmark and Mercari and tried to see if she can find the exact one in her size, and I just happened to be one of the ones that popped up for the good price and knew with tags, so she grabbed it. Next thing that sold was this Chico's platinum cropped jean jacket in the size large. This sold for $27. Again, Chico's, love Chico's. That was my full asking price for $27. There is a story that goes along with this jacket and the next thing that sold. The next thing that did sell was this soft surroundings tunic top for $25. I got that too at the Salvation Army when they were having their $2 sale. The Chico's jacket I got at the rummage sale, so it was 50 cents. But what I did, and I've been selling on Poshmark for about a year now, and never have I ever mixed up my packages. And this time, guess what I did? I mixed up my packages. The buyer of the soft surroundings got the Chico's jacket, and the buyer of the Chico's jacket got the soft surroundings top. So of course, neither of them wanted those items. They both opened a case. Poshmark was able to send them shipping labels for the correct items, so the Chico's person who got the soft surrounding was able to ship it to the correct buyer. It did take some time to sort it out and get people what they initially bought, but it ended up working out. They both got their items. They weren't, at first they weren't too happy with the situation. They weren't nasty or anything like that, you know. One did leave a comment on hers. She said that her item, you know, was as described, perfectly pictured, perfectly packaged. The only setback was she received the wrong item. The next person didn't leave a comment, but only gave me 4 stars, which is fine because of my mistake of messing up my shipping. But now I pay close attention to all of the items that I ship, and I try to make sure that does not happen again. So that was everything that sold for the month of January on Poshmark and Mercari. Altogether, my sales were $471 minus fees and my cost of goods. My final payout take home was $365.48. So January was an okay month. I didn't expect anything too big and elaborate because, you know, we're coming back from the holidays. People aren't shopping as much. They're just, you know, out looking around. So I'm glad I did make as much money as I did, even though I didn't anticipate it coming out of the holidays. But hopefully moving forward into spring and summer, there'll be more sales, more profit, and I'm looking forward to those days. Hello, and thank you for everybody who has stayed till the end. So that was my very first what sold video for Poshmark and Mercari, and obviously my very first YouTube video. So I just wanted to give a little backstory first before we move on forward. My name is Valerie, and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark and Mercari. I don't sell on the other platforms because they just haven't performed for me. Poshmark is my main platform. In Mercari, sometimes I sell a little bit on there, but not very much, as you can tell. So a little backstory I want to give you is, maybe you see the name of my channel versus my name. So my channel is called Laura's Closet by Valerie, and Laura is my mom, and she recently passed away. So she loved thrifting, and she could find like the best things at the thrift store. Her main thing was vintage items. Like, she could go out and find vintage items, whether it was like a little mom and pop thrift store or, you know, the Goodwill or estate sales or something. Like, her main thing was vintage. So I was sitting down one day and I was like, you know what, I think I can do that. I think I can, you know, try to do some reselling. Her main platform was eBay. I did try eBay. It doesn't happen a lot for me over there, so I just ended up taking things down. So I tried to focus on Poshmark, and I'm not so much into vintage because I don't have the eye for it like she did. So I'm just trying, you know, to be out there and to see what sells, what brands are good out there. I'm starting to learn my brands by different watching different YouTube videos, looking, you know, at different influencers who do reselling. So I think I've grown a lot in this past year from picking up, you know, the small little like Target items to like bigger items like Chico's, and like I've got some Prana stuff, I've sold some Lululemon stuff, so I'm just trying to get my feet wet into all those other types of brands. So if you're ever wondering, like, okay, she introduced herself, but her name is Valerie, but her channel in her Poshmark closet is Laura's Closet. Well, that is because, you know, this is a tribute to my mom, and I'm trying to take what she has done and bring it over to help me and help me grow. And so that is why there's two different names, but it's me bringing the content and bringing the items to Poshmark. So if you would like to continue this journey with me and watch me grow and help me out, you can subscribe, like, and share my video. And I hope you guys liked it, and we'll talk to you at the next one.